Hey Christian. This is. Go ahead and say your name.
I'm Christian Winder, and basically we are going to be documenting my journey with neurofeedback and also doing neuronutrition, which is taking different, basically smart pills, I guess you would say, to help your brain work a lot better, and also to get me off my psych medication. So I have the handy-dandy head thingy, and yeah, I guess, what goals should we have for this session?
Well, this session is like it's going to be like a baseline too.
Okay, so this will be the baseline session.
So
I have been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, PTSD, dissociative identity disorder, ADHD, and I'm on 6 different medications. So the goal is to get off all those and be using the brain pills to make my everything fire properly. So, yeah.
So today's Tuesday the 20th, and
2013. We are in San Francisco, and yeah.
Okay. So Christian is doing a session of Neo Mind Cycle, and he has so Neo Mind Cycle combines EEG with an ABS mind machine and software that turns Christian's brainwaves, which those are his brainwaves, into light and sound, so that Christian experiences them as flashing lights that are reflections of his brainwaves, and also the sound is a reflection of his brainwaves. So the pitch will go up, it'll start whirring, and so what's going to happen is this will cause his brain to make connections across many different regions, and also the light and sounds are riding on isochronic beats, so they're highly stimulating brainwave entrainment beats, and so this will create connections across his whole mind that are reflections of his own neocortex, and it creates just sort of feedback loop, a powerful feedback loop between his vision, his hearing, his thoughts, and his feelings, and so that's the Neo Mind Cycle right there. And it's more of Neo Mind Cycle is the idea of Neo Mind is the neocortex, or the new mind that humans have that other animals don't have, and cycle means that is a reference to like neurofeedback, because this is creating a cycle between his brainwaves, the computer, the light and sound patterns that are reflections of his brainwaves, and then back through his senses to affect his brainwaves again. So we're creating a loop outside of his brain, kind of like the strange loop that Douglas Hofstadter says is in your brain, the loop of consciousness, or the attractor sequence of oscillating thoughts. So for documentation purposes, Christian has taken PEA. It's a nootropic that helps the brain function very well. Actually feels very good. It's psychoactive. This is antiracem. It's another nootropic, similar to pyracem, a more famous one. And so this is basically nutrition for the brain. So here's the reason that I would recommend Christian do this. See, the machine that Christian's wearing is putting a lot of demand on Christian's brain, a lot of demand on his neurons. It's making his neurons fire faster and harder, and giving his brain a workout. At the same time, when he's consuming these nutrients, his brain, these are nutrients that will help his brain to function at an even higher level during and after his session today, so that his neurons can form those connections, but they're also well supplied, so he's not going to be exhausted afterwards. He's going to be functioning at a very high level. This is extremely stimulating to the brain. As you can see, you don't even need goggles. There are visuals available that so he could take off the goggles and just look at the screen, and it would still be a very highly stimulating situation. And if we unplug the sound, you would hear his brainwaves, his pitch and reverb, and lots of other sounds too. This technology takes advantage of a key principle of neuroplasticity. Namely, that neurons that fire together wire together. So here we have a feedback loop from Christian's brainwaves into the computer, from the computer back into Christian's brainwaves. As we've now added isochronic brainwave entrainment beats from the brainwaves as light and sound patterns, so that what Christian is thinking and feeling is reflected back to his eyes and ears. So now there is synchronous firing associating thoughts and feelings with brainwaves in his neocortex, with isochronic beats that stimulate his eyes and ears, his visual cortex and audio cortex, so that Christian's whole brain gets knit together. That's neuroplasticity. So this is Christian in the dark. We turn out the lights to enhance his experience. So as you can see, Christian is in his session doing Neo Mind Cycle. It's actually his second session. Usually we just do one session per day, but since it was the first time, we decided to do a double. The first session was 30 minutes, and the second one is 20, and it's a different session. This program allows you to customize your own tracks. So I have custom tracks that I've made. So Christian is using one of my custom tracks, and so there it is. And Christian has to hold his head relatively still because otherwise the neurofeedback signal would be disrupted. And so it's really stable right now. The first session there was a lot of breakup because one of the sensors didn't have enough water. So we have a spray bottle, and so what I did was just water in the spray bottle, and so I just sprayed the sensors, which they already have saline in them. Are basically dried salt. So I just sprayed the sensors with water, and I sprayed Christian's hair just a tiny bit. And we're going to be getting a replacement unit that has dry sensors. So we'll be able to do this without having to spray anyone's hair soon. Not yet though, because it's not available just yet. But so this software, by the way, is called Mind Workstation, and I think it was like $600, or it's a part of a package of software that you can buy, and you can message me for the links if you want. And so then when Christian's all done, we'll ask him how it was and get his feedback. It's extremely intense, and it's highly stimulating, and it'll probably feel great for a couple of days. But we'll find out from him. Hey, Chris. So Christian just finished his Neo Mind Cycle. How you doing, Christian? You doing okay?
Good. Second session.
Your second session. You finished your second session. So, do you have any first impressions of it?
It was pretty intense. Felt like I was at a rave, even though I've never been to a rave. But if I was, that's how it was.
The raves are really fun, yeah.
Yeah, I've never been to one. I felt at times when I would think of certain things that the music and the lights would go faster, and at other points it would slow down. So I would try to think of certain things to see if it actually stimulates my brain, or if it doesn't stimulate my brain, which was actually kind of interesting. It went by a lot faster than I thought it would. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how it affects me tomorrow. Okay. Because nothing affects me right away. It always takes a minute.
Sure.
PTSD is wonderful that way.
Yeah.
But it was chill. It was pretty chill.
All right.
So.